So welcome. For today we will be practicing a lot of binds, which means that we'll be working a lot of shoulder opening. We'll start today in a child's pose. So we bring the knees either wide, or if you'd like child's pose better with the knees together, then either way is fine. But a nice and passive child's pose. So I quite like letting my head rest on my hands to start with, just so there's no need yet to reach and to stretch through the upper body. And again, so lots of binds today, lots of shoulder opening, chest opening. And so for this moment, just really starting to work in this very sloppy, very passive moment where everything's heavy. Maybe to get a little bit more heavy, you need to take a few big sighs to let go. And for today's practice, I'd like you to keep thinking about this yoga method, the principle, which is called Sthira and Sukha, which means steadiness and ease. Really kind of translates to when we find our asana, our poses, that you find that steadiness, but still are able to find some comfort within. Find that breath, that sweetness within. And where you find this grace, Sthira and Sukha, steadiness. So just take a little movement now to sink deeper into those hips. So it can be a really nice lower back release if you kind of sway from side to side here. And then as the hips sink and settle down more, begin now to reach the arms forward. So we find a little bit more engagement through the upper body. And rather than bringing your head down to the floor, which we do normally in our child's pose, see if you can float your head just off the mat. Aiming then to have the biceps and the ears come in one straight line as we really stretch those arms long forward. Feel that energy draw forwards, that length come into the spine. Taking one more full round of breath here. Breath always in and out through the nose. And then slowly we walk those hands back and we shift the weight forward. That means we're in a tabletop, hands and knees. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. So on an inhale, we lengthen and we look upwards. We find a back bend. And exhale, press and round. See if you can tuck that tailbone. Stay with the shoulders above the wrist, chin to chest. Look at your belly button. Continue. Inhale, looking up. Find that back bend without cranking into your neck. Open even through the collarbones. Exhale again, round, scoop the tailbone, belly button to spine. Let's take two more. Inhale. Begin to work your Ujjayi breath. Exhale. If you know your Ujjayi breath, that restriction on the back of your throat. Last round. Inhale. Creating sort of that ocean sound. Exhale. Round. Now that we've moved the spine, we can bring some challenge in here, some strength in here. So we begin to curl the toes and just lift the knees a touch off the floor, not much at all. I don't even know if you can see it. And here we do the same thing. Inhale, find your back bend for cat-cow. And exhale, start to round. Stay close to the floor, and I know it hurts. Can you find Sukha here, that ease in your steadiness? Sthira. Exhale. Can I get just one more, guys? Really see if you can stay close to the floor. Inhale, find that back bend. And exhale, round and curl. And then we bring the knees down. Sweetness at last. Inhale, reach the right hand up. And exhale, thread it underneath your left armpit. So we'll start by a nice little chest opening and shoulder opening. The side of your head is coming down onto the floor, the mat. And then maybe, just maybe, you can reach that left arm already behind you. You might let it rest onto the lower back. You might be able to grab the inner thigh. Make sure that your bottom shoulder is quite happy with the decision you've made here if you're binding. And then we bring the left hand back down to the floor, and the right hand all the way back up. Inhale. And then exhale, bring that down. Other side. Inhale, left hand reaches up. Exhale, thread it underneath the right armpit. Side of your head comes down. And only if you don't need that support with your right hand, then take a half bind. Let it rest onto the lower back or grab the inner thigh all the way. And again, your bottom shoulder, make sure it's not crashing down. It's quite happy. It's also at ease here. There's steadiness. There's ease. Sthira and Sukha. Right hand comes back down. Inhale, left hand reaches up. And then exhale down. This time around, our playful puppy, Anarhatasana. Our arms walk forward and forward and forward. Hips stay over the knees. And then letting the chest melt down. You can have your chin or your forehead down, forehead being the easier option. Few really big breaths here. No need yet to walk those hands closer. Take them nice and wide to the edges of the mat. See if you can sort of bring your lower ribs back in as we're exposing and lengthening through the chest still, opening through the back, and then even the armpits and the glands there. Everything gets a nice bit of space. Can you take one more really juicy and full breath? Let the exhale kind of melt you down a little more. And then slowly we come all the way to a seat for just a moment and just a breath. Close the eyes. Take that moment to connect back in with the breath, with this length, with this softness. And take a big shoulder roll down and back. Walk the hands forward, first downward facing dog for today. Spread widely through the fingers, have a little look, and then curl the toes and lift the hips. So we are in our downward facing dog here, and as this might be the first one for today for you, have a little walk, explore what's happening. See if you can find a little bit more length and flexibility by paddling the heels one at a time. Either nice and slowly or just a little bit more dynamically. All is well today. Now where's that breath even though we're upside down? Still in and out through the nose. Long, lengthy, ujjayi breath. Our gaze, our dristi, is in between those ankles or feet. Your heels invisible. 2 more rounds of breath as we just hold a nice and still downward dog here. See if you can shoot the tailbone a little bit higher up into the sky. Let me take that little moonwalk forward. So we really lift, step, and lift, step. And we don't take big steps at all. If anything, go small. See if you can reach that point where your shoulders start to stack right above your wrist, so you get that shoulder strength without collapsing. We're still trying to walk all the way forward. Once we're there, inhale, let's take a halfway lift. And then an exhale, forward fold. Bend the forehead fully to the knees, bend the knees. We take 2 more. Inhale, halfway lift. Long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Forehead to knees. Last round, inhale. A little bit more weight into the toes now. Really peel your neck long, think turtle, and exhale, forward fold. Let's take a nice slow curl up to stand, vertebrae by vertebrae as we come all the way up, like a little massage for the spine. And we stand nice and tall at the top of our mat right there in mountain pose. Take another breath in and another breath out. And let's begin our sun salutations. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up, feel stretch, feel elongation. Exhale, forward fold. And again, again, bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, take your halfway lift, press the hands to the shin. Can you get long? Step into a high plank. First round, which is really nice to take it back to the knees. Long spine, chest forward, and the elbows slide. Really pause those ribs as we descend down. Into a little cobra here, shoulders down and back. See if you can press even those toenails, so all 10 toes, into the mat. And then downward facing dog, coming back. Lift the sit bones, one breath in, one breath out. Looking forward, step the right foot first, then the left foot. And once you're there, inhale, halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Every time, grow a little taller. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, come back into your plank. One more time, let's take those knees down, looking forward, slightly shifting forward, and then exhale, strong, long chaturanga as we lower. Into that cobra, shoulders down and back. Squeeze those elbows into the waistline. And then downward facing dog, press back. Looking forward, step the left foot forward, then the right. Take your inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Wash away your day, guys. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold, letting go. Inhale, halfway lift, energize, lengthen. Exhale, step back into your plank. Come to the knees or shift forward, and just as slowly as our knees, lowering down. Inhale, shoulders back, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last round. Inhale, look forward, see if you can come onto your toes. Little jump to the top. Inhale, flattening the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Flattening the spine, inhale. Exhale, step back, high plank. Feel free to lower those knees, otherwise shifting and lowering. Inhale, cobra. You might be warm and ready for an up dog. Thighs, knees lift off the floor for that one. And then downward facing dog. 3 sweet breaths here. Can we come back to that sense of where is the ease and where's that steadiness? And were they both part of your sun salutations? And how can you find them back? How can we have them live through the practice today? One more round of breath here. And then bring the feet a little closer together. Lift the right leg up to the ceiling. And then exhale, quietly curl in, step it forward. Find that steadiness first, steadiness, sthira, rise when you're ready. So we're in our crescent lunge here. See if you can lengthen through the lower back by bringing sort of the tailbone forward. Can you relax the shoulders down? And then straight away we bring our arms in cactus. So we look like a cactus basically. On the inhale, push the arms behind you, open your chest, look up. Feel the shoulders. Exhale, can you press the forearms together? Curl in like we've done with our cat-cow. Inhale, open, lengthen. Sthira. Exhale, the breath is flowing. Sukha. Elbows come together to touch as well. Last round, inhale, like a butterfly. Exhale, close. And as we're rounding and closing, bring the left hand down, the right hand up. Easy open twist. And instead of reaching just up to the ceiling, can you let it fall and open behind you without taking the hips with you? So feel the bicep, the armpit, and the chest lengthen. One more big breath in here. And then exhale, bring the hand down. High plank, you bring the knees down, or 2 feet down, or a 3-legged flow as you slowly come down. Exhale. Cobra or upward facing dog, really which one you prefer. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We bring the feet a little closer together, lift the left leg up, inhale. Through that big curl, use the upper back muscles, step it forward. Find your steadiness. Inhale, rise. Find the stillness, the sweetness. Arms, cactus. Inhale. Open your heart, look up, push the arms out of sight. Exhale, rounding curl, elbows and hands all touch. Inhale again, think cat-cow into your crescent lunge. Exhale, belly scoops in, Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, open. Last time to curl. From this curling, find length. Right hand down, left hand up. Try not to crash down into the right hand. Take the hips into that nice and squareness, but don't let the arm fall behind you. Find yourself to open, to lengthen. Yet one more round of breath here. And then exhale, bring that hand down. High plank. Any of your high plank or low plank variations, exhale, coming down slowly. To the back bend, breath in. To your downward facing dog, breath out. 2 breaths here again. Just to find the breath back. Finding maybe more length. And then bring the feet closer to each other, right leg to lift, inhale. And exhale, slowly step it forward. Lower the back knee down, come up to a low lunge, inhale. There we bring the hands together, thumb center of chest, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, we twist to the right side. Elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Inhale, find some length. And then exhale, start to twist. Draw those hips back in the sense that the 2 hip bones are going forward. Maybe you open the arms here again, as long as it's still helpful to your twist, and push that knee back into that left elbow so it doesn't twist over to the left side. Slowly from there, mat, come back. Hands together from center of chest. And then 2 hands on the inside of your right foot down to the floor. So here we are, our hands are down, besides that right foot, on the inside of the right foot. Now first things first, we come down to the floor with the upper body. And I'm trying to snuggle my right shoulder underneath my right knee. And just here to bring 2 hands on either side. So my foot's in the middle. And this might be where you stay, yeah? This might be more than enough for this moment. And maybe you can just here interlace the fingers, and so you're onto your left forearm. Hug the belly in. Keep the right knee above the right ankle. And then feeling that hip opening. Let's take another full round of breath here. And then we slowly just bring the hands down and unravel ourselves. We walk the right foot to the right side of the mat, heel in, toe just off the mat. And then curl the back toes, lift the back knee, and step the left heel in line with the right heel, but on the other side of the mat. So we're in our Yogi Squat Malasana. And just really take a moment here to push into the baby toes and upright the spine. So find this length into the spine. If you are rounding, it's probably because the triceps or the armpits are closer to the knees than the elbows. So let it be the elbows that press the knees out. Big breath in here. Big breath out. And inhale, see if you can keep those knees wide. Reach the arms up. And then exhale, hands come down to the floor. Step back, high plank, inhale. Feel free to bring those knees down, otherwise shift forward, lower down slowly, chaturanga. Find your back bend, big breath in. And then downward facing dog, big breath out. Bring those feet a little closer to each other, lift the left leg up, inhale. And then exhale, stepping all the way forward and lower the back knee down. Once you have that, rise on up. We're back in our low lunge. Hands come together. Two hip bones shine forward. We lengthen forward. Inhale. Twist towards the left side. Right elbow touching onto the outside of the thigh. Really see if you can get those thumbs out of the armpits. Lengthen and lift. Belly in. You might stay here, which is so fine. Or you open the arms, but don't let your knee collapse in. So push the knee back into the elbow and the elbow back into the knee. Full round of breath here. Find this length and this space, this sthira and sukha, steadiness and ease. And then slowly coming all the way back. And then bring the two hands down on the inside of your left foot. So there we go. Keep that knee over the ankle. Check that before you go any further. Otherwise, we lower down like we're about to do a chaturanga push-up. Left shoulder underneath the left knee so that one hand is on either side. Notice if your hips can come and follow. Square them back forward. Stay here. Absolutely feel free to stay here. And definitely stay here for another round of breath first. And otherwise begin to interlace the fingers, which means that our right forearm is coming down. Just notice the difference on both sides, right? Also fine, just breathe your way through. 2 more breaths. Feeling that opening come into the hips. And then slowly we begin to unravel ourselves, hands back to the inside so the foot can pivot to the left side of the mat. Curl the back toes, lift the knee, back to your Yogi Squat Malasana. Hands together from center of chest. Press the knees out wide, elongate the spine, and breathe. Now my left hand then comes forward in front of my left knee. And really kind of see if you can push the knee out and bring the fingertips to the floor. And the right hand reaches up long. See if this is where you can stay. Or if there's a room to connect the both hands together. While still we press the knees out wide. Look up to the ceiling. One more round of breath here. Come back out, same way as you went in. Come all the way back to Malasana. One more side to do. Right hand stretches down in front of that knee. Left hand up. Stay. Or find behind you. Now peel the left shoulder open and look up. And it is okay, right, to stay. It is just simply not possible for everyone. This is a lot of flexion into the ankles, the knees, into the hips, Achilles, into the shoulders is an opening. One more round of breath. As we come out, same way as we went in, we bring the hands all the way up, and then hands all the way down Step back to your plank pose. Really feel free to take your time. You might be a bit tight and tense there. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale for your baby cobra or an up dog if you feel right for that. And then downward facing dog 3, breath here. You should be nice and warm through the knees and nice and warm into the hips. Maybe the shoulders as well. One more full round of breath. See if you can hug the navel into the spine, lift it up, protect the lower back. Uddiyana Bandha. Push the floor away, lift the sit bones higher. Feet come closer together, right leg to lift, inhale. And then exhale, slowly step it all the way forward. Back foot goes flat, heel to heel or heel to arch alignment, back foot 45 degrees. And then take an inhale as you rise. And then exhale as we open. Here we go, warrior 2. Big step, please. Feel free to take a few little bends and straightens to settle in here. And then once we're there, we slowly inhale, reverse. Right hand, palm comes up, lengthen back, inhale. And then exhale, right elbow to right thigh. Have a little look here that everything's in place. Your knee lines over your second, third toe. And then pushing out of that right shoulder. Lift the left hand up. Big breath in here. And then let that left hand come all the way to the lower back. Back of the hand is onto the lower back. Or you grab all the way your inner thigh here, or inner kind of your thigh. The inseam of your thigh. See if you can peel the left shoulder up. Can you peel yourself out of the right shoulder as the collarbones spin up? One more round of breath here. Maybe lower now a little bit more into the leg. As always, we come out same way as we went in. Coming all the way up and straightening the leg. Take it in a little bit if you like. For Trikonasana, inhale, reach it forward, now long again, straight legs, and then right hand down, softness into that front leg, left hand up. See if you can bring kind of the hand just towards the shin. And again, maybe you stay. Maybe that left hand can come back to the lower back, or back to grab the thigh. Pull and open and lengthen as we breathe. One more round of breath here. Coming out same way as we went in. Rise up all the way. Interlace the fingers behind you as you turn your toes towards the left side of the mat. Pigeon toe, big breath in here. Exhale, forward fold. We've got beautiful bind behind you, so grab what you can grab, and if you can't quite bind all the way, then just your hands down to the floor is fine as well. For my binders here, can you squeeze your hand palms together? And it might not work, so if you bend your elbows then maybe just let it free up again. Let your weight come a little bit more in towards the toes. Belly in. One more big round of breath. Lovely. Keep yourself long through the spine as you come up halfway. Bring the hands here to your hips. Bend through your left knee as you come to sit down, Skandasana. So nice and low into that left knee if you can. If you can't, you're just in a high Skandasana, so you keep yourself halfway point. Have your right toes and knee facing upwards to the ceiling, and hands to the floor if you need it is fine too. Now for some of us, we might be able to keep that left heel down, and especially if that's you, with the hands up as well here. Then just like our little Malasana, you bring that left arm forward, down to the floor, and your right hand back up to the sky. Should feel really open and spacious. And if you feel like you're crashing or about to fall backwards, it is probably your cue to go back a step. Maybe you stay, maybe you find those hands to clasp behind you again. And as there's so many different layers, guys, I don't feel that you have to kind of sign off if you cannot grab your hands, right? It doesn't make you more of a person to be able to reach your hands together, right? It's just a bit of yoga. Coming back to our original length and extension, and then come all the way back to the top of the mat. We wash this out with our vinyasa. Inhale, knees down is still fine. Exhale, float into the back bend. Big breath in, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Heels ground down, sit bones lift, big breath out. Our feet come closer to each other, left leg, lift, inhale. And then exhale, step it all the way forward. Again, get your feet straight away, heel to heel or heel to arch, back, toes. More forward than back facing, big step. And inhale to rise. And then exhale to open, warrior two. Now, again, find movement if you feel like that's helpful for you. Once we found our warrior two, hold. Front hand palm lifts, take it back, inhale. To left elbow to left thigh, exhale. Now, before we do anything else, push out of that left shoulder. Right hand up. And either the right hand stays there or bring it to the lower back or grab the thigh. Feel the right front of your shoulder, your rotator cuff open. Breathe as we look up. So we find this length in between the two shoulders, but also between the shoulders and the ears. Maybe you can still sit a little lower here. One more round of breath. Coming out slowly the same way as we went in. Straighten the front leg, step it in just a little bit. And then inhale, reach forward. And if you're getting really hot all of a sudden, me too. Exhale, lengthen. So we're opening so much. And so it's really nice and spicy, yeah? So very normal to get this ready. Right hand stays up or comes back, lower back, or the thigh. See if you can get a little lighter into that left hand rather than crashing down. Push the left hip forward, the collarbones up. One more round of breath. Again. Coming out slowly, right hand up, come up, hands together. Bend through your right knee, Sitting halfway down or all the way down, so do what you did on the other side, please. Left toes and knee face upwards. My shoulder is on the inside of the knee. Push my right knee out. And again, see if you can bring that right heel down. If you can't, no problem. See if you can bring the hands off the floor in prayer. Right hand comes maybe to the outside, long line to the floor, left hand up. Push the knee out. Find expansion through the chest, look up. And either stay or see if you can bind. And again, looking up, finding space between the collarbones. If this is hurting your shoulders or you're rounding, then obviously go back. You've lost your sukai, ease. So stira, steadiness, yes, find that first. And then can you find some grace and some breath, some ease and some lightness in there. And then slowly come to look forward. Walk yourself back forward. High plank. And again, feel free to take any modification so you can flow beautifully down. Inhale, find your little back bend or your big back bend, and then downward facing dog. Exhale. Big breath in. Big breath out. 2 more breaths like that. And again, find some sweetness here. And if this does not offer you any sweetness at this moment, then maybe your cue is to go to child's pose. Okay guys, bring those feet a little closer together. Lift the right leg up. And then exhale, step it all the way forward. Bring the back knee back down. So we've been here before. We bring the hands back on the inside. So I have two hands on the inside of my right foot. So we've been here before, so the start should be easier by now. So we bend through those elbows like you're doing chaturanga. Right shoulder nestles underneath the right knee. One hand is to either side of your right foot. Maybe stay. Maybe again, come to the forearm. Maybe, just maybe, you can curl your back toes and lift your back knee. Maybe even bring the foot flat. So we're going back to a warrior two stance. So toes go 45 degrees out. Beautiful. You might stay here, or you might kind of wrap and unwrap. Left hand up, right hand down, step one. And then find your hands behind you as you thread the right hand. Again, back underneath the knee, but then upwards and find the other hand. And then open and lengthen. Hold for three, sit a little lower. Think about the collarbones moving up for two. A lot of hips, a lot of shoulders. And one, hands come down. Heel walks out, toes out. Come back, Malasana. Push the fingertips together this time rather than flat hands. Open the heart a little bit more forward. 2 breath here. Reach the hands up, hands down. High plank, feel free to come to downward dog if you need a moment longer, or straight into your flow. Into the back bend and into our dog. Means that we have one more side left. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step. Back knee down. Two hands on the inside of the left foot. Stay or bend the elbows. Stay or left shoulder underneath the left knee, hand on each side of the left foot. Stay or come to the right forearm and interlace the fingers. And then stay or curl the back toes, lift the back knee. Maybe plant the back foot flat. Warrior two feet. Hips come back in between the heels. Stay or unravel. Left hand down, right hand up. Left hand through underneath the knee. Find the hands behind you. And then open and curl, look up, sit low. And hold for 3. Ooh, yoga, hey. And 2. And 1. Slowly bring the hands down. Walk that left foot off. One more time. Yogi squat. Malasana. Breathe. One more big breath in. Sigh it all out. And very slowly come to sit down. Once we're all the way down, take the legs straight for a moment. Find your staff pose, which is the same almost as Dandasana, our mountain pose. These ones are a little harder because we use a lot of core to sit up straight. With straight legs, this might be quite challenging all by itself. Take 3 breaths here. Close your eyes. Can you find some ease here? Even though we're working on a lot of muscles. Use the bandha, Mula Bandha, that's your pelvic floor lift, so to speak. Uddiyana Bandha, navel to spine lifting up. Energy locks. Now open your eyes, bend your right knee, and bring this in nice and close, like you're giving it a little hug. And by hugging it in, you push your heart forward into the thigh, into the knee. So option number one is you just stay here. Look at your left toes. They are the left toes that are connected to your straight leg. And you might just find yourself to lengthen forward here. Maybe you can grab your toes, and yes, you can bend your knees and grab your toes. And if you can lengthen here, see if you can straighten the legs and peel the toes back so your body goes on the inside of your right knee. You can stay here or here. And otherwise, right hand goes around the knee, forward and back, the left hand behind you, and once again, we bind, because you know what? We didn't bind enough yet, right? Then look at those toes, the only ones that you can see straight forward. Take an inhale, lengthen, and exhale, pull your heart forward. Very Ashtanga, typical pose, asana. One more round of breath here. And again, you might just be here, totally fine. And then come all the way up, come back to staff pose. Flex those toes, sit upright, close down the eyes. Work that deeper core to try and sit with as much elongation as possible. We find our stir, our steadiness, then our sukha is breath. One more. Work those back muscles together, normal spine. Open the eyes, bend your left knee, and begin to really hug it in. So much that you pull your heart forward and into it. That's your first step. Second step is might fall forward into that knee with your torso. Maybe you can grab the toes, and if you can't grab your toes, just bend your knee to being able to grab the toes. Heart goes forward. Peel the baby toes back as well. You stay wherever you need to stay along the way, otherwise that heel comes in closer, your hand comes forward and around, and the right hand behind you. Opening again the heart forward. So rather than being stuck here rounding, open, blossom like a flower petal, blooming, opening through the chest, looking at your big toe. Pop your heart forward, feel the back muscles engage. One more full round of breath. And then slowly coming out. One last time, come back to staff pose. Just find length in your spine, length into the breath. Roll those shoulders down and back. Lift through the bandhas. One more round of breath. Maybe the eyes stays closed, so that token of competition and ego is eliminated. You reach the arms forward, and vertebrae by vertebrae, we ripple down to come. Just whenever you are down, set the soles of the feet to the floor. Heels nice and close into your glutes. Arms right beside you. And slowly lift yourself up to bridge pose. Lift, lift, lift through those hips. Breathe. One more inhale, lift a little higher, and then knit these lower ribs back in. Don't let them flare out. And then slowly lower down. Tent the knees together and walk the feet width of the mat. And just bring your hands to your belly and start to kind of unmanage the breath. If anything, focus more on long, lengthy exhales now. There we go, one more round. Bridge, or if you're feeling a wheel pose, and we because I'm obviously not in your house. I want you to be quite an experienced, seasoned yogi that is super comfortable with your back bends. I won't even show you it because I don't want you to try and establish something entirely new from your mat at home. There's really beautiful demonstration classes otherwise out there on the internet, or I'll film one later. But at this stage, just stick with bridge if you're quite unfamiliar with your wheel pose. Otherwise, I invite you to take that in your own time, safely and slowly. Let's go. Bridge pose, ripple off the floor. You really start by that tailbone lift in the lower back, middle back, upper back. Find your biggest back bend and then have that sense of your heart opening up behind you. One more inhale, can you lift higher? Exhale, slowly come back. And this time around, bring the soles of the feet together, the knees to widen. Bring the hands back to the belly and feel that breath massage the abdominal wall. Concentration still stuck in your jaw. Give yourself a little smile through the corners of your mouth and the corners of your eyes. Slowly, we bring the knees back up. We hug the right ankle on top of the left thigh for our very classic figure four. And you might just stay, push that knee away. Our hips and our knees have done quite a bit of work, so that might just be nice at this moment. Otherwise, that right hand goes through the whole left hand on the outside. And you grab the hamstring or even the shin. Push that right knee away from you. Notice if you're rolling off to the right side and just kind of level yourself back out. And then let your lower back sort of almost lift off the floor as you press the sacrum into the floor. And then notice that hip opening more. Shoulders come down, back of the neck is long, close down the eyes. 5 breath. And the bony bit towards the tailbone. Can you press that in and out? Gently letting go. Feet down. Take a breath. Breath still coming into the belly. Left ankle on top of the right thigh. And as much as you can already, keep the eyes closed as you set up to figure four. Maybe just quickly check that we're not rolling off towards the left side. Flex those left toes. Pull the right knee in and mindfully, so with the mind, maybe a little bit of arm work, we push the left knee away. And can you find lightness through the lower back as you push the sacrum, that lower bit towards the tailbone into the mat, then relax the shoulders down and your back of the neck long. 5 finished your 5th breath, you slowly unravel and let those legs straighten forward so blood can pour through the knees. Hands to belly, still feel the rise with every breath in. Feel it fall with every breath out. Setting the feet back down to the floor. Last little exercise. Cactus the arms. So you bend your elbows, let your arms your hand palms face upwards and then hand fingers towards the top of your mat. Cross the right thigh over the left thigh, like lady sitting in a chair. The hips a little bit to the right side, and then let your knees fall to the left side. Let your knees fall to the left side. I want the shoulders to stay touching down, so if that's too much or this does not feel good on your lower back or your knees, then just have your knees on top of each other instead. So wherever you are, find some comfort. I want this spine twist to be quite passive. 3 breaths. Really find shoulders to relax and to soften after all that stretch. Opening. And can you use your abdomen to draw the knees back up and uncross the legs? Reposition to the middle of the mat. There we go. Arms are still in cactus, nice and spacious, heavy. Left over right thigh. Hips a little to the left, the knees fall to the right, so the hips are still at the middle of the mat. Shoulders are down and otherwise uncrossed. Have your knees just tumble on top. Can you send this breath into the lower back? Let the hands relax, smile into your face to soften all of those wonderful little micro muscles. 3 breaths. Abdomen to draw the knees up and uncross. Hips back to the middle. Give yourself a little cup. Knees into your chest. Massage the lower back. Big breath in. If you need to pop something on, do it now. We're setting up for a final shape, Savasana. And so start to straighten the arms beside you and the feet naturally fall open. Take a deep breath in and take a good big sigh out. And find your mantra. A mantra is sort of like this affirmation, this repeated sentence